today's edition of Sports Card ASMR, we are going to go through this Score 1988 Rookie and Traded set and this 1988 Flair Update set and pit some sluggers from these sets against each other in an epic baseball card, Sports Card ASMR, Home Run Derby. We'll get to that in just a second. But first I want to welcome you to this channel, Sports Card ASMR. I am the Sports Card Doctor. That's right. I'm very happy that you are here today on the channel that combines sports card nostalgia and ASMR relaxation. We'd love for you to consider subscribing to the channel, leaving us a like or a thumbs up, a nice comment. You can hype the video up. You can leave a super thanks to help the operations. But most importantly, we are just glad that you are here today. Let's get to it. Alright. Get to those in a second. I was going through my boxes of cards. We don't use this Beckett enough, but it's classic. From 1999, because that's old. There it is, the 88 Flair update. A reminder that we have this as a backup price cut. Anyways, I was distracting myself. Let's get to this here. We have these two sets. They've been featured here in the channel before. These are from my actual old school collection when I purchased these late in 1988. Of course, traded sets, the rookie and traded and updated sets are a chance for card companies to sell you the same players in new uniforms before the next season, and it was always exciting. Don't let my cynical tone fool you. It was always fun to get like a new version of a Rick Cerrone card, find out where he was playing now. We have opened these before, so some cards might be missing from them, some big names, but I figured I'm going to go through both sets here, remind myself of who was in the sets, and then we'll do a home run derby. Now what's interesting about this and what intrigued me about this is that these 88 cards will reflect 1987 stats. And as we know, as we've learned in other places, 1987 home run stats are hard for any other year to beat. So alright, let's go ahead and take a look. Let's go on a score first here. You've got this stuff here, some trivia. Do you remember Shibe Park, September 28th, 1941? I don't remember that. What is that? DiMaggio, Ted Williams there. County Stadium, April 8th, 1974. That is Hank Aaron, right? Aaron breaks Babe's record. Polo Grounds, July 10th, 1934. Is that the first All-Star game? No, that was in Comiskey. July 10th, 1934. Could that be... Is that Carl Hubble striking everyone out? It is. King Carl. Case, everyone. September 26, 1981, the Astrodome. That's probably Nolan Ryan's 5th no-hitter, right? That is, okay. Ebbets Field, October 5th, 1941. That is it's Yankee-Dodger World Series. Is that the Mickey Owen muffed ball? It is. There you go. Veterans Stadium, June 29th, 1987. June 29th, 1987. Veterans Stadium, Phillies. That's not Michael Jack Schmidt's 500th home run. That came early in the season. June 29th, 1987. I don't know this one. Steve Carlton sets... No. Oh, Steve Bedrosian. Look at that. That's why he won the Cy Young that year. Dodger Stadium, June 8th, 1968. That's not Rick Monday saving the flag, is it? Could be someone tries now. Don's scoreless inning streak is stopped. October 2nd, 1978, Fenway Park. That is Bucky Bleepin' Dent right there. October 1st, 1967, Fenway Park. It's not the Tony Caniglaro injury. Is it Jim, what was that pitcher's name? Jim something. Pitches. No, it's Carl Yastrzemski. Leading a win in the Triple Crown. Okay. Final one, July 18th, 1987, Arlington Stadium. Is that Don Mattingly tying the consecutive homers? It has consecutive games, home run streak. Yeah, whatever I said, it's true. Don ties Dale Long's mark. All right. I know baseball a little bit. I've forgotten some of the stats over the years. That was a fun sidetrack. Doctor's ADHD must be kicking in big today. All right. Let's see what we got in here. A lot of sluggers to choose from. Again, I know I've taken some of the cards out of here. Maybe like a Mark Grace or a Craig Biggio, that kind of thing here. So let's go ahead and divide these up into sluggers and pitchers. And maybe players we won't consider. Got Jack Clark, Danny Jackson, Brett Butler, Kurt Stillwell, Tom Bernansky, Dennis Lamb, Jose De Leon, Tommy Hearn, Keith Moreland, Kirk Gibson, Bud Black, Rafael Ramirez. Finally you get Rafael Ramirez on the Astros after his years in Atlanta. Luis Salazar, Goose Gossage is a Cub, Bob Welch, Vance Lawn, Ray Knight, maybe, Quisenberry. There he is. There's our guy. There's Don Slott. Lee Smith. What did I tell you? Rick Cerrone with the Red Sox. Don't worry, he'd come back to the Bronx. Pat Tabler, Larry McWilliams, Ricky Horton, Greg Nells, Dan Petrie, Jose Rio, Chili Davis, Dickie Thon, Mackie Sasser, Mickey Tettleton, but he's not Fruit Loops yet, Rick Dempsey, Ron Hasse, Phil Bradley, Jay Howe. There he is, Bill Buckner. Former Rookie of the Year, Alfredo Griffin. Gary Pettis, these ain't sluggers. Calvin Schiraldi, the Candyman, John Candelaria. Joe Orslack, Willie Upshaw, Herm Whittingham, Ron Kittle, Bob Denier, Steve Bye Balboni, Steve Sheehan, Chelsea Orozco. Larry Parrish, one of the forgotten sluggers of the 80s there. Jeff Bittaker, that is a great shot. Look at that face. He looks like the snot-nosed punk who's going to bully you, or even better, he looks like he wants to make you a sandwich because he thinks you're Santa Claus. Good stuff. All right. Ray Hayward. Tommy Gregg, good pinch hitter. Well, not 51 homer Brady Anderson yet, right? Did he hit 51, or did he hit more than 51? I can't remember. Montgomery, Hamilton, Espy, Greg Brown, big slugging Joey Meyer, but he might not have home runs in 87. Mike McFarland, Oswald Peraza, Jack Stretch Armstrong, Don Henkel, Steve Curry, Damon Berryhill, Steve Ellsworth, Pete Smith, going to lead the Atlanta pitching staff. Who's Tom Glavine? You got Pete Smith on your team. Brian Harvey, John Thompson, Dave Gallagher, Todd Stottlemyre, Mike Schooler, Don Gordon, Sil Campusano, Jeff Pico, Nelson Santovina, Al Leiter, Luis Alicea, Pat Borders, Tim Belcher, Don August, Todd Burns, John Costello, Melito Perez, Darren Jackson, and Orestes Estrada. All right. So we've got a few choices here. We'll have similar names in this 88 set, so what I'm thinking of doing is picking some sure thing sluggers, some question mark sluggers, and maybe putting a lineup of 5 or 6 here. Definitely going to take Parrish. I'm going to take Pasquale. Maybe Baylor. Meyer, Davis. I'm going to take Dave Parker. Maybe Henderson. Balboni is 4. Kittle could be 5. Davis could be there. Okay, whittle them this down here. I don't want repeat players, that's what I'm saying. All right. Definitely, I'm going to go Pasquale, Parrish, Brunansky, Steve Balboni, and the Cobra, Dave Parker. Okay. Hold on to these guys here. Stickers in the world that you want are right here. Alright, same thing here. Divide these up here, make it easier to choose. We got the hottest young up-and-comer in Philly ever, Ricky Jordan. Got Phil Bradley again. You don't want to sleep on Bradley. David Palmer. Danny Clay. Already some different names. Greg Harris. There he is. There's your first Walt Weiss, not in a split card with, I think it was it Dave Otto that he was split with? It was rookie card. Todd Burns. Hendu again. Doug Jennings. Dave Parker is out. Bob Welch. Jerry Poole. Rafael Ramirez, man, he gets around. Louis Meadows. John Fishel. Paul Gibson with those old man glasses that are now popular again. Luis Salazar. Gary Pettis. Ray Knight. Don Hinkle. John Cecina. Jose Cecina. I couldn't see that name, just like you can't see him. Ray Hayward. Jim Steele, I remember him. Brian Harper. Costello, Luis Alcea, Jose De Leon. Oh, Bob Horner is an interesting choice. Kevin Oster, Mackie Sasser, Jeff Ennis, Jim Eppert, Brian Harvey, Sherman Corbett. He'll throw your 7th inning and do your taxes. You got Chili Davis, Pat Borders, Capisano again, veteran Mike Flanagan. Ooh, a young David Wells, Todd Stottlemyre, Brooke Butler, Donnell Nixon, Roger Samuels, Ernest Riles, Randy Bacchus, Mike Boddicker, Hall of Famer Lee Smith, another Larry Parrish. There he is, our hero of the day, Rick Cerrone, Mike Smithson, John Trotwin, Cesar Jimenez, Paul Runge, Jose Alvarez, another Pete Smith, Darrell Hamilton, Don August, Big Joey Meyer. Yeah, you know what? Joey doesn't have any Major League stats. Jeff Leonard, Alondra Pena, Tracy Woodson. That's a great Kirk Gibson right there. Alfredo Griffin, Jay Howe, Jesse Roscoe, Mark Barrett, Roberto Alomar, Dennis Rasmussen, Keith Moreland, Dave Laper, Andy Allison, Willie Upshaw, Rick Rodriguez, Domingo Ramos, John Perlman, thinking of journalist Jeff Perlman, David Barrio. There's Mark Grace. Let's cut a little way. We might pull that one from this here after we're done here. Look at that shot of Goose. Darren Jackson, Vance Law, Dalton Varsho's dad, Jeff Pico, Nelson Santavina, John Dobson, Brian Holman, Rex Hutler, Jeff Barrett. An early Spuds, look at that. Tim Britzes, Ron Dimmel, Danny Jackson, Paul O'Neill. Why is he? I guess they just didn't put him in the 88 cent. There's our guy. Don Slott, Rafael Santana, Al Leiter, Richard Dodson. There's Big Jack Clark, Candyman again, Craig Worthington in a stock spot, Doug Sisk, Joe Orslak, Jose Bautista, Bill Swift, Marion Diaz, a player who was once confused as Edgar Martinez on a Fleer card, which I think was 88 Fleer in the regular set. Mike Jackson, Henry Cotto, Mike McFarland, Pat Tabler, Greg Stelwell, Israel Sanchez, Ted Reston Power, Jeff Montgomery. There's our guy, Randy Milligan. Jim Gott. That is not Tommy Gregg, that is Randy Milligan. Oh, never known to look up this air card. And it's definitely not a white outfielder. Barry Jones, Dan Pascal we've already used, Ricky Horton, Dave Gallagher, John Davis, Jose Segura, Melina Perez, and a goddamn checklist. All right. Those cards in there. It doesn't matter how they get in there. These sets are so common, you probably find one in your local trash can. Alright, so 5 sluggers. Can't repeat. Definitely using Jack Clark. No, too early in the careers. Too early in the career, but we are definitely going to set aside this Mark Grace to go into our binder collection. I consider Willie Upshaw hit double digits. I think I'm going to go with Gibson's 87 Tiger stats. And I'm going to go with Jeff Leonard for right now. Chili Davis. Maybe Bob Horner. Knight's not going to do it. Hendo, maybe. Bradley, maybe. And Jordan. Absolutely not. I don't even know if he has Major League stats. I just liked the Ricky Jordan card because we like Ricky Jordan around here. might be it. Bradley was a good double-digit guy for a while. Henderson could do that too, but he wasn't quite hitting that A's prime. And Upshaw, I just don't think he'll pull in the big stats. I think this is it. I think I like where we're going with this. Here's our lineup. Got some solid, not spectacular, but solid players. This will be an interesting 1987 stat matchup. So let's write this down, shall we? Okay. Let's write these lineups down. First up is Dan Pasquale. Next up, the veteran Larry Parrish. Tom Bernansky. Steve Bye-Bye Balboni. I mean, you gotta have someone in a home run derby if his name's Bye-Bye. And the Cobra, Dave Parker. The late great. Alright, on this side, we got Jeffrey Hack Leonard. And one flop down. Jeff Leonard. Chili Davis. Bob Warner, forgotten 80s slugger. Kirk Gibson. And Jack Clark. Okay. Here we go. A coin flip before the video determined Fleer to be the home team, Score to be the visitors. Let's go ahead and do this. First up is Dan Pasquale, now the White Sox, formerly the Yankees here. Again, we are going on their 1987 stat line of home runs. And in 1987, Dan Pasquale hit for the Yankees 17 home runs. It's a good start. Let's go over to Fleer. We're looking at Jeff Leonard, long career, kind of starting to wind down here. But he would have some productive years. I think he played for the Mariners too at this point. And coming off his 87 season with the Giants, 19 home runs for Jeffrey Leonard. 87 was that big year for Jeff Leonard in the NLCS. That's where the one flap down thing comes from, if you don't know. Alright, Larry Parrish, this guy, most of his years in Texas with the Rangers, 87 stats, 32 home runs, I'm telling you. Here's your guy right there. 32 home runs for Larry Parrish, 242 in his career at that point. Montreal and the Rangers there. Alright, next up, Chili Davis, 87 would be with the Giants. 24 home runs. That's a lot of bombs. Okay. Next up is Tom Bernansky. Tom Bernansky, 87 Twins. That's another 32 home run effort there. Bob Warner, here with the Cardinals, coming off 87 with the he was injured all of 1987. Now we have a choice. Is he injured out and we go with another player? I think we have to do that. I think that's fair. I think Bob Warner has to sit this one out. And we'll go with the pinch hitter here with Phil Bradley. Phil Bradley's 1987 season. 14 home runs. That, I'll write that in. Philip Steve. Balboni is 1987 with the Royals. That's 24 bombs. Look at that face. That, my friends, was a feared slugger. Okay. And here was a guy that was just feared because he was so intense. Kirk Gibson, 24 home runs there. 24 home runs. All right, we're going to do a stat check just so we officially know where we are. Score. $105 at this point. And for Flair, 81. That Horner injury might have been a big one here. So to that 105 of score, we are going to add Dave Parker's big 1987 total of 26 home runs. 26 home runs. I might seal it. 131 is the total. All right. We got Jack Clark right here. Jack Clark coming off a big 1987 season, moving to the Yankees here. And we got 35 home runs. Is that enough? Of course not. Valiant effort. 116 is the total. I think that the Bob Horner injury was my fault. Other options over Bradley's 14 would have been Henderson. And Henderson had 8. Willie Upshaw, 15, would have been one closer. Other players that we could have used here. Ray Knight, 14. I think Flair was toast since we couldn't use the same players. But 88 score, which set the tone for card collecting in this season, comes up big. And I gotta tell you, it was on the backs of Larry Parrish and Tom Bernansky. They were the leaders here today. Big one right there. All right, that's what we got for today. Hopefully you all found that very relaxing and enjoy the home run format as I look to add more formats here to the channel and continue with some of the classics you like TSA pat-down videos, sports card doctor videos. We got organization videos on the way because I need to clear some shelf space. Won't you do me a favor? Comment down below what your favorite category videos are here on the channel. You don't just have to choose one. Let me know. All right, that's it. We'll see you next time here on Sports Card ASMR.